coronavirus non ko gonga anda ɓale anda dani anda paykun anda mawɗo wari africans ɓe ɓuuri ka hoore leydi sabu noon ala lekki kono kibaruji welɗi ɗi woni ndu heeɓi haray pikiiro
kuy wut fu muy fanaan ak kuy wut ku ko wétali xanaa delloo buntu gi warul na boole Yaa Faatu's Guest House tijjil na leen buntu bi ñu leen fa am ak ñaari cabinet salle yu yañña
amal leen li nga xamante ne mooy cabinet ak salle ñu ngi leen amal AC ak fan
salle bi nag lépp li ngeen soxla am na fa sofa yu nooy ñoo fa nekk TV bang fa cabinet boo dugga lal yu nooy leen fa amal nañ leen fa AC ak li nga xam ne moom mooy fan toilette yu set wicc amal nañ leen fa kitchen microwave fridge and room bu baax dama ne teranga day mut moo taxit Yaa Faatu's Guest House amal leen extra kitchen lépp lu ngeen bëgg a togg mun ngeen ko toggee si gas cooker bii nii
kuy xalam di si jaayu nag barke bi yaay borom amal ne li nga xamante ne mooy ndox ak courant 24/7 bu leen tiit bu leen ragal bu leen xof ndax amal ne lii di CCTV caméra
seet si leen ñu si Farafenni gannaaw garage ci base bi Kawur highway
very clean every day am na cleaning service ratio bi amul fedd
Yaa Faatu's Guest House teranga aduna bët kon nag seet si leen ñu
come please Lamin come Uncle Coach ñu bàyyi ko rek mu ñëw gis ngeen ne coach Samba Jow jamono ji mu ngi si biir dëkk bi mu nekk Gambian boo xam ne obviously all the time daf dee comment on social media but tey nag moom nekkul social media mu ngi ñëw si biir dëkk bi mu ngi ñëw si biir Gambia wax naa leen ko télé yi bari neen waaye bokkuñu man ku ma gis ma xamee ko su defee max sax dama ko xamee mu def max ma ne ko coach Samba génneel max bi ñu mun a wax ak yow coach na nga def
jàmm rek
welcome back
oh thank you well, I'm a Gambian. I'm here to visit my country and my family. So, lolo mo fi indi dal.
This
is a historic occasion because this, I believe, lo hapun fini enriches our democracy, enriches our jurisprudence, because these are citizens, the UDP, who have all the legal rights to do what they did. And the good thing about it, moi, nekun ci mbeda bi di xeex. Nekunji Teken, Nekunji Dorken, Nekunji Saga Ken. The UDP had a problem with the elections. You know, we are going to Fumba Hananeke Bena. We came here and the judges made the ruling. So now we move on. And I hope to, going forward, we'll all look at our total electoral system and make the necessary reforms that are important. That way we'll move on as a country. But this is a great thing. I don't think anybody should see it as negative. There are no winners and losers. The biggest winners in this are the Gambians, the Gambian democracy, and the enrichment of our jurisprudence. Yes.
ñu gis la nga nekk koo xam ne doy farfalaatel lépp lu coach wax rek lu am la jamono ji yaa ngi si suñ dëkk soo doon wax ak suñ nguur loole naa advice
bari na de first thing first for the president to understand and to congratulate him again for his victory, which was affirmed today by the Supreme Court, to understand people have given him a mandate. And the mandate is not just for its sake, but a mandate to ensure that there is development in this country. There is unfettered respect for fundamental human and constitutional rights in this country. And he must not rest on his laurels and just believe me, people will love me, I'll do whatever I want. Because Gambia, we don't have time. This is a country that has underdeveloped for 56 years. It is now time for seriousness. And I hope that the president will also do what the constitution says when he appoints cabinet and would appoint people who are competent and capable to carry out their jobs effectively, and not those that are sycophants or just people must not be repaid. People must be appointed to do the work of the Gambian people so that we as a people will move on. But the other advice that I have for President Barrow, one thing that we've seen, when we've developed a judiciary that is independent, at least over the past 5 years. The TRRC report is absolutely important. And the president must implement every recommendation made by the TRRC, because it's implementation. Doesn't mean that you are sending anybody to jail. What it means is you are doing what they ask you, people will be prosecuted. Anybody who is prosecuted will be given the rights that were denied to Gambians over the past 22 years. You'll be given a fair trial. You'll be given the right to counsel. you can defend yourself. If you are acquitted, you are a free citizen, you go about your business. If you are convicted, you pay the price that all convicts must pay. The worst mistake that President Barrow would do, and repeat, he did it with the Janneh Commission, he must not repeat it, is to cherry pick on the recommendation. Implement all recommendations without fear, favor, affection, or ill will, because that was your oath, that I would defend the Constitution of the Gambia without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So all we are asking the president, we are not asking him to do anything that is out of the law. Implement the recommendations, let people be tried in our independent courts, and then the chips fall where may be. If you kill somebody, hey, and you are convicted, you go to jail. If you're accused of killing and you are acquitted, you go about your business. That is fairness, and that's how we can have closure. It was Dr. King who said that true peace is not the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. So as a result, whatever we do, we must ensure that justice, unfettered justice, is exercised to the maximum. That will serve as a deterrent, so that a Samba Jow would not come tomorrow and feel that I can kill somebody and get away with it. Those are my two advices.
Yeah, coach, ba léegi rek comme ni ma koy waxee rek lu xew si dëkk bi dafa bari yaa ngi wax ne président bi mu bàyyi xel ñu moo appoint nit dina ne ndax président bi dafa am ñu appoint ñoo xam ne qualifié ba tey it nekkul di def liggéey bi mu war nga mentional ñu ñoom su ko defee ñoom it ñu start di xool seen boppa di paak ndax coach tamit dafa bëgg a ut liggéey parce que ñu bari ñu ne semestre yi su ñëwee si dëkk bi ku ut liggéey la xëj na coach dafa ñëw Gambia ku Adama Barrow gis ko.
Man, I'm a Gambian citizen. I was born in this country, and there's nothing wrong with it. But to be clear, I have no aspirations, none whatsoever, to be appointed to any office in this country. This was why after 2016 elections, when Barrow won, Gaido was made a cabinet, and people mentioned my name. I went on Facebook Live and told the president, nobody promised me anything. Some people mentioned it. I went and said, I am not interested in being appointed to any office. And my question to the president then was, and it's going, do not appoint people because of based on what they did for the struggle. That's nonsense. Appoint people who are competent to carry out the job of this country. So that's what I'm saying. So do to the tour or this thing, because he has a coalition. So what I'm saying, if somebody from NRP is competent to do the job, give him the job. Because our constitution is very clear. Now the ministers appointed should be those that have the technical know-how to run those ministries. Bulgis pa Samba Jow rek muy dox ci mbédam mo ma neex nga ne na ko def minister. The people that will suffer will be the Gambian people. Te ñun amuñ time. Dëkk bi amul time because this country has been underdeveloped for way too long. Waroon nañu romba fii. So this is time for serious work, and serious work can only be carried by serious and competent people.
ndax si Barrow presidency bi mi tey si cabinet gam dafa am ñoo xam ne maanaam nekkul ñoo xam ne ñun nit di wax la dama bëgg rek mu leer na clair su ko defee gaa ñu defaraat seen boppa media bi is here to tell nit yi lan la gaa yi nekk di def loo xam ne nekkul yoon.
Well, kuma fu loo xam ne am na yenn appointments I did not agree with.
kan nen remind am na ñoo xam ne ina follow.
Example, the current Minister of Interior, I was not happy with that appointment. I think it's Sonko. Anybody who served Jammeh, I was not happy he was appointed to serve in any cabinet position. That not to say that they are not Gambians. But if you're coming to wrong the rights of yesterday, you cannot appoint the wrongdoers to correct the wrongs. So this is it. So it's not a matter, it's nothing personal. These are people, some people I know. We are friends, we were in the struggle. When he was appointed at the Public Service Commission, I believe that his appointment was in direct violation of the Gambian Constitution. And I said so. It was nothing personal, because to me, it's not about who I know, it's about the Gambia. So if it is something that I believe is right, I'm going to say it. But it's nothing personal. All I'm saying, Barrow has the latitude to appoint a cabinet. My thing is not only appoint people who can do the job, so that Swin Lopetani would function the way that is supposed to function, Swin School C would function the way that is supposed to function. Everything that we do as a country would function the way that is supposed to function. That way, his legacy would be one of development and not one of enticement. Because you appoint people that you know and they don't do the job and people suffer. And the more affect too more the person that appointed them. So Barrow wants to leave a good legacy. For that to happen, appoint people that are competent to do the job, hold them accountable. If you are accused of mismanagement of funds, you have no business serving in office. Send the person on interdiction, send the person on administrative leave. Let's investigate, because we cannot continue like is political motivated by politics. No, we need to move seriously as a people, and for that to happen, we need to have serious, competent people so that you move forward as a country.
Gis nañ ne tamit li nga xam ne mooy National Assembly bi mu ngi ñëw am si am na parti si nga xam ne daanu neen bu baax a baax si election bu passé jamono ji coach ku la xam ne da nga am experience du may waxantu wax dëgg rek leen fi nekkee Gambian Talents TV ma bëgg rek nga wax ak partis yooyu lan nga fa ne lu leen war a def su ko defee daanu bu métti bi nga xam ne daanu neen ko ñu defaraat seen taxawaay.
What is at stake is the democracy of our country. What we don't want is a one-party state. And to avoid that, I am appealing to all my friends in the opposition. You know, together and form a tactical alliance, if you want to call it that. That way, we will have a National Assembly that is balanced. And the reminder that I want to give people, during the PPP dominated the House of Parliament. This was why they were able to craft the Senegambia Confederation that was not grounded on law, that was not grounded in the interest of the Gambian people. And when ended up happening? 1989, Bajawara de Mepare change affair because there was nobody thinking in the National Assembly. Abdou said, you know what, I will teach you a lesson. Woke up one Friday and packed all his military soldiers here, including the Presidential Guard. 5 years down the line, there was a coup d'etat, Jawara was gone. 2002, when the UDP boycotted the National Assembly elections, it gave Jammeh a free hand to make constitutional amendments. This is where you in the one change the 50+1 in the constitution. Because anything Linga Hamne was not in his interest was taken out of the constitution. Law Hamne they can change within the parliament. And past laws Linga Hamne were not helpful to our country. So this is why it is important for the opposition parties, in the interest of democracy, it doesn't matter one party can support, to come together and find a way, put competent candidates, they will come to the National Assembly, scrutinize everything. That way, we will not have one party to dominate the executive and the legislative body, because that is a disaster and would be a setback for our democracy.
Gambians have been crying for a new constitution since Judgement has been removed from power in 2016, but still we have not been seen that the Constitutional Review Commission came, but that thing was never gone into implementation. It has never happened again. Again, Gambians are still calling for a new constitution. What advice do you have for the government towards that?
Well, I was one of those who was very critical of President Barrow because I believe President Barrow single-handedly sabotaged the CRC, the Constitutional Review Commission. Because what President Barrow did was he put his interest ahead of the interest of the Gambian people. Because everything that Barrow complained about is, I cannot, the term limit cannot be retroactive. So Barrow was not looking at anything else but Barrow. So, Mr. President, you've promised us, and we're going to hold you to this promise, that we'll have a new constitution, that there will be term limits, that there will be the absolute majority. But we need a constitution that is fit for purpose. And for that to happen, we need Barrow to have the political will to make that a reality. And you see, leaders who sacrifice are remembered as heroes. George Washington, the first president of the United States, upon his election as president, there were people who wanted to crown him king. He said no. It was very convenient at that time to be a king. He said no. Actually, America did not even have term limits until around the 1950s. Because what Washington did was, after serving 2 terms, he stepped down, and it became a tradition in that country. And it was one president, I think it was Roosevelt, who stayed for 3 terms or 4 terms. Then later they decided to add it in the constitution so that it became a term limit, became a constitutional requirement. So today he's celebrated. When Nelson Mandela served 1 term and decided, you know what, that's enough, I'm sitting down, that's why he's respected. So, Mr. President, do not be driven by the desire and the entrappings of power. Be a changer for a better Gambia, so that you'll be remembered for the president who did not overstay his welcome. Jawara overstayed his welcome, ended in exile. Jammeh ended overstayed his welcome, ended in exile. We want President Barrow to be the difference by ensuring that he will serve no more than 2 terms, give us a constitution that will guarantee 2 terms, a constitution that will guarantee absolute majority, a constitution that will respect the rights of diaspora Gambians to participate fully in the political process of our country, because I'm not beating my chest, we contribute close to anywhere between 48 to 55% of GDP. As we speak now, the amount of money that is flowing in this country because of Gambians abroad is much more than, in fact, what we've done is save this country from a serious economic disaster because of the tourism is dead, because of COVID. But we're here, we are spending money, and by the time we are gone, we're not here to do all exclusive, all inclusive or whatever. No, we are going to our homes, we are building houses, we are providing employment, we are helping people, we are doing everything. Every money that we bring with us, $3, $4, $5, $10,000 is going to be left here. We go back home with our $10 and go back to our hours. We do that because we love this country. So there is no reason why we should not be allowed to participate. And to those that say, oh, diaspora is a problem, listen, who are the diasporans? The same blood that runs in you runs in me. I'm a Gambian. I was born here. I'm your brother. We are your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your aunts. We are Gambians. The only reason why we left this country is to go for greener pastures. And what we will do when it's greener, we come back here to invest here. So we are as Gambians and as anybody else. So I hope we'll all continue to hold this government to account and the president.
What advice do you have for the social media warriors that are always there to insult or to poison people's mind when it comes to violence and
well, one thing that I've always said is I don't think there is anybody who can instill violence in this country. Gambians are very, very peaceful people. I've always said that whenever you see Gambian, you go at it, we hear a crowd so that it will not last 2 seconds. So yes, in every country or society, you will have what they call agent provocateurs, but they constitute the minority in this country. So my advice is not to the minority that insults. My concern is not the minority that try to instigate, but to the majority of the Gambians to understand that we are one people, one nation, and one country. Nothing can change that. Every one of us is related to the next. We talk about this tribe thing. There is no pure Mandinka or pure Wolof. And what I mean by that is there is no Mandinka or Wolof or Fula who does not have a relative of another tribe. Whether a niece, whether a brother-in-law, whether a nephew, and all that. So all that is important is for all of us to be bound by this creed that we are Gambians. Nothing else can divide us. And before you know how great a Gambian is, or being a Gambian is, you travel out of this country.
Before I leave you, Mr. Samba, we have
Mr. Jow.
Mr. Jow.
Yes.
We have seen the Judgement Commission have never been implemented just as how everyone expected. Here is the TRC again. The recommendation has already been published. Implementation is what Gambians are waiting. What is at stake towards President Barrow's government? Towards the TRC?
Well, what is at stake is everything. Because you see, the Nazis, the Second World War was from 1939 to 1945. You know, they are still prosecuting people who participate in that. Some people will be 90-something years old, they are discovered, they will be prosecuted. Laws are meant to be followed. That's why this country is a country of laws and not of men. So what is at stake is justice. What is at stake is democracy. What is at stake is the future and stability of this country. If we start just letting people go, this masla, you are encouraging that there should be a deterrent to anybody coming to power and believing that they have the unfettered right to abuse others. So all we are saying here is these courts have proven to be independent. Go to the courts. Let them determine whether anybody who is accused by the TRRC is guilty or not. And that's it. That's all we are asking for. We are not asking for Barrow to hold a stick, beat anybody. We are not asking to do anything, but do what the Gambian people expected. This is why we funded the TRRC. People came and testified. It was for a reason. It was not just to be put in a paper and just placed somewhere else. No, we need action and we need to see it happen. And for that to happen, President Barrow must have the political will, and the citizens must not also rest on our laurels and just allow him to do whatever he wants. TRRC recommendation must be implemented to the fullest, irrespective of who becomes a victim of their own crimes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. That was Coach Samba Jow. We will just narrate some of the things that has happened inside there before the case was concluded. As you all know, we cannot do that, but before doing that, we'll just make few steps back to explain some of the things. We know that the hearing was today supposed to be the fifth day of the hearing. The first day when the United Democratic Party filed a motion here to to challenge the election result. The second hearing, the second proceeding was when the lawyers of President ADAMA Barrow, led by Sirif Mari Tambiru, bring a motion, the motion which seeks to strike away the petition that was being here, and the next day, that was the third day of the hearing, the lawyer of President ADAMA Barrow, headed by Sirif Mari Tambiru, bring another motion, which was the joinder, to strike the petition brought here by the United Democratic Party, and it was an argument. It didn't happen at first, and then the Chief Justice ordered for President ADAMA Barrow to pay $10,000 to United Democratic Party, and then the second to last day was last week. That was on Friday. Then they bring the second motion, the second motion that was brought here, at first. Then that was the argument. The argument was surrounded around that motion, where it states that the United Democratic Party did not follow under Section Election Act Section 11 says failure to comply with the with filing of the election petition is I can say is equals to the fatal of the petition. That is, United Democratic Party failed to comply with the rules of filing the election petition. And also, Section 22 of the Election Act also said when you file a motion and also you amend it, before amending it or even amending it, you should notice those that are part of the case or the petition. And now the important part of this acts or these rules, that is the Rule 11 of the election petition. That was Rule 11. Today, Rule 11 became an important aspect of in determining this case today, because the Chief Justice said United Democratic Party did not follow the rule according to, that is Rule 11. They did not fully follow the rules in filing this election petition. As a result, the 200,000 that was ordered by the court for United Democratic Party to put it in an account for security costs, 100,000 should be taken from there and give it to President ADAMA Barrow. And finally, the Chief Justice ordered that the case is struck from the court. And now, finally, President ADAMA Barrow has won the case. Memem foka numbadi maninkole, wolem kiti tela la nyaton ko Asan Bijalo, birindunta nang ay mem damuta wolem ka kol sen ka mini alon ko wala keta kitiol la kelungol la min keta foloti fulanja ngani sama nyawani nani jango ay sen kandiro ke biring damuta la fa bandula bara bandula to nataje ay luwal mem fo election wala luwa kono luwa tang tanning kilinjang west tanning kilinjang we mi yitandi nibe petition na atleja wala nibe balambaya na atleja balambaya mi alon ka be kumala pour ka election wala result ka bay niba na atleja ani luwa leta de nyanta ka luwa le noma. That is Rule 11. Nyanta ka luwa le no, but United Democratic Party men ka UDP tel mo luwa noma. So kamala Chief Justice anata ordering ke ko ye dalasi wuli keme fulo min kenung bank account ko no pour security cost say wo dalasi wuli keme fulo wuli kemoni ibo bondi la jele ya di President ADAMA Barrow la kadum President ADAMA Barrow le kanyeta, because United Democratic Party imo luwa mi yalon ko wala belare pour ni be balamba na la ko nyanta ka luwa le noma woto wuli kemoni nyanta di la President ADAMA Barrow la le anu President ADAMA Barrow ay case win le woto case nying sa petition ni minna ta jang ya baya buta court kono fereng President ADAMA Barrow win tale finally. That was finally.
Will join very soon. You were watching Gambian Talent.